that for a second. Led in by the Inedibles, yes?
Inedibles.
Inedibles.
That means you can't eat them.
You cannot eat them.
Nope.
So, Promethea.
Okay, Promethea. Right. Written by Alan Moore, drawn by J.H. Williams.
The third.
The third, yes.
Nice.
An ABC comic, a mythology-based character, tied in with magic, tarot cards, the Zodiac.
Like Dawn of Troy.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
So, knowing that, Kara, what did you think?
Okay, super, super cool because of this reason. It wasn't one character. She transformed into different people, and this is going to sound really cheesy, but in psychology and stuff like that, you know, whatever you think about, you bring about. So whoever would really focus on that character, if they had to research her or write about her, they became her. So, kind of a cool message.
Very cool.
Super cheesy message, but it's a cool message, right? So whatever you think about, like, you know the movie The Secret? You saw that?
Oh yeah, everyone's seen that.
Okay, so that concept is if you think, no.
If you think positive thoughts.
Yeah, and something that you focus on all the time, you will bring it to your life. And that's exactly what happens with everyone in the comic, right? So they think about her, they talk about her, they write about her, and they become her. So it's super cool.
It actually comes out of an old idea, and I after reading this, I went on like YouTube and whatever and looked up old Alan Moore, the guy who wrote it, interviews and stuff. And it comes from a concept. He used to try to freak out interviewers by saying, like, you know, his religion was magic. He believes in magic, like pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
Yeah.
And then he would further explain that what he really believes in is if you have a concept and an idea, and then you turn that into canvas and paint, that this becomes magic, this becomes a religion, this becomes an idea of creation. And this was something that he started to work with back in the 80s. And he's written and gone on, and this was kind of, in a weird way, he let the artist have a lot of fun with it, because if you look at the artwork and the way the transitions happen, like, it's really elaborate. It's almost to a point of art for art's sake, but at the same time, this was the whole idea, was that he was just trying to express exactly that, like, this is imagination. And imagination, just from having an idea to, I don't know, show up here, get some people together, plug in some cameras, edit stuff, have people, like, all this sort of idea of creation became magic and became something that became a finished product. And Promethea was, with Wonder Woman and everything else involved, was just kind of, I don't want to call it, what's the word? When you play with yourself, your pants? Master.
It's called.
Anyways, but he had a really, like, it was a good idea. And it really came off in this book. I really think so.
So the neat thing for me, sorry, was when I had asked you about a
Enough
female
about masturbation.
Sorry.
I didn't say
They're not, okay, so you got me all distracted. I don't know what I'm thinking about right now. Okay.
I don't know either.
Am I blushing?
Can we
Is my
fix
face
this?
blushing?
How did we get her face so red?
My thoughts drifted
That
elsewhere.
is
Okay,
the
so
magic of television.
the cool thing about that I said I wanted a female superhero. The cool thing about that, when I was a kid, I was so mad that I was a female because females couldn't be professional athletes, and that's all I ever wanted to be when I was really young. So I was like super mad because, you know, all men had all these different sports they could go into. Women had nothing.
Dorothy Hamill.
But they weren't professionals. That's amateur. They don't get paid.
Olympics.
That's
yeah,
a big
right.
difference. So I thought about being a professional athlete from like when I was young, and then I'm a professional athlete.
It's
As
like
an
magic.
adult.
It's like
It
magic.
is. You think about it,
And Promethea went beyond that as well. Like, there was a great transition between the old Promethea to the new Promethea, where you got the idea of the goddess look, and then I can't remember who the first Promethea is. The one that was in the hospital bed.
I don't know. Her name's Promethea too.
Okay. Well, she
They're all
was not.
Promethea.
She was not the most like. She wasn't drawn, and the art is amazing in
It
this
is.
book.
And
It's so well done, and she wasn't drawn as a beautiful, voluptuous
She was
woman.
overweight and out of shape.
And yeah,
old.
and it had, like, without going into that Wonder Woman kind of stereotype.
And I want to point out another thing that I had read is that both Grant Morrison and Alan Moore noticed at some point that the stories that they were writing were affecting their lives. They noticed that if they wrote about negative things happening to their main characters, it seemed to affect their life. So they started to write about positive things happening to the characters, and it seemed to turn their lives around. And I think that's partly what this is based on. And one criticism of this book is that it's not really much of a story, because as it goes on, it gets more into sort of like a lecture about Alan Moore's views on magic. It ties in, like I said, tarot cards, magic, mythology. But I mean, like you said about the panel designs, like once it gets into the later issues, they'll have like a double-page spread where the characters will be walking around on a Mobius strip, and it's like you don't even know where to start and where to finish.
It's almost like those old days when they had in comics, like even old Jack Kirby comics, where they'd actually add an arrow
Yeah.
show you where to go
Yeah.
next. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you should read here.
That was Family Circus. Family Circus.
No.
Where, who did that? You just got going around. It wasn't me. No.
I thought those aliens were pretty intense. That green screen sword fight through the jungle is pretty intense too. I don't know, I kind of enjoyed it, I guess.
The second one is no longer the worst.
I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed Kate Blanchett in it.
Okay,
I was
great.
happy.
This would probably be the Phantom Menace of Indiana Jones.
Aliens, that's pretty much the end of the story, man.
Tried too hard. I think it was enjoyable as a film, but it was definitely George Lucas. I just felt it tried too hard.
I never really felt that anyone was in danger from anything. Like they're on these jeeps or like a bunch of crap's falling around them and they're just sitting there like, oh, all right, what's next?
I really enjoyed, the original 3 Indiana Jones, and this one just didn't do it for me.
I did enjoy it. I think it's typical Indiana Jones style, cheesy. You have to be cheesy with those movies. And I love Kate Blanchett, so I enjoyed that part.
It should have not been about aliens. It would have been so much better if it had not been about aliens.
From watching this one, I would say, I guess a lot of people said that the original ones were better.
They kind of went downhill from the first one to this one. This is terrible.
There's 2 big flaws in the film. The invincible hero flaw. The second problem was buffoon bad guys.
The second half of the movie, there was no people even talking. And I don't know why they brought Karen Allen back, because she didn't do anything for the story.
I liked the first one a lot better. I expected a little more drama from the crowd when Indy turned around for the first time. It was kind of like this stilted, oh, he's old.
I thought it was excellent. Lots of action, lots of excitement. It's a really good popcorn movie. Everybody has a great time with it.
I loved it. It was the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life. It was awesome.
What about compared to the first 3?
It wasn't that good.